For years, I searched for peace in all the wrong places. I thought if I worked hard enough, earned enough, loved hard enough, or changed enough for others, I would finally feel at peace. I thought if I looked perfect, pleased everyone, smiled through pain, and kept running toward success like everyone else, I would find rest. But I was wrong. Peace doesn't come from perfection or approval or performance. It comes from something deeper, something I had to lose everything to finally understand. It wasn't a moment of success that changed me. It was a mindset shift, quiet but powerful, that taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. Real peace begins when you stop chasing things outside of you and start listening to what's already within. This realization came not in a loud moment of glory, but in the stillness of exhaustion, after burning out trying to be everything to everyone. I finally asked myself, why do I feel like I'm never enough even when I've done everything right? That question shattered the illusion I had been living in. I realized I was living to prove something, to be accepted, to be admired, to be seen. And in doing so, I had abandoned my own voice. I had ignored the quiet whisper in my heart telling me I was already worthy. That day, I made a choice. I stopped trying to win the race I didn't want to be in. I let go of expectations that never truly belonged to me. I began to live for alignment, not applause. I stopped comparing my journey to others. I stopped measuring my worth by what I achieved. I let go of the belief that I needed to be busy to feel valuable. Instead, I embraced stillness. I embraced slowness. I gave myself permission to breathe without guilt. I redefined success, not as how much I could do, but how deeply I could live. I started to honor the present moment instead of racing to the next one. I began to see peace not as a final destination, but as a way of walking through life, with grace, with acceptance, with trust. The mindset shift wasn't loud, but it was radical. I chose to believe that I am enough, right here as I am. I stopped waiting for external validation and started giving myself internal permission, to rest, to enjoy, to be real. That shift created space for joy. It created space for freedom. And it brought me a kind of peace I had never known, because it was no longer based on what I had or did or achieved, but on who I was becoming. I stopped blaming others for my unrest. I realized that peace isn't about controlling your circumstances. It's about controlling your perspective. I started to ask different questions. Not, why is this happening to me? But, what is this teaching me? Not, how do I avoid discomfort? But, how do I grow through it? I realized peace isn't found in avoiding struggle. It's found in growing stronger within it. It's found in surrendering the illusion of control and embracing the power of presence. I learned that peace doesn't come from the absence of problems. It comes from the presence of purpose. I stopped trying to change the past or worry about the future. I brought my focus fully into the now. I practiced gratitude, not just for the good moments, but for every lesson hidden in hardship. I let go of resentment, of judgment, of the stories I told myself about who I needed to be. I forgave, not because others deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I learned to hold space for both joy and pain, for hope and uncertainty, without needing to fix or rush anything. That shift transformed everything. I became softer, yet stronger. I started to trust life more. I trusted the detours. I trusted the delays. I saw every closed door as protection, every challenge as preparation. I no longer saw myself as a victim of life. I saw myself as a co-creator. I stopped asking life to be easy and started asking myself to be brave. And that shift, that inner shift, was where peace began to grow roots. I realized peace was never lost. I had just forgotten how to access it. It had always been within me, waiting for me to return to it. So I returned. Every day, I return. To stillness. To breath. To faith. To myself. And I no longer define peace as something you find. I define it as something you choose. A mindset. A way of seeing. A way of being. A decision to no longer let the noise of the world drown out the voice of your soul. That's what changed my life. That's what brought me peace. Not perfection. Not achievement. Not approval. But presence. Gratitude. Surrender. And love, especially self-love. The mindset shift that brought me peace was the decision to stop striving and start living. To stop performing and start being. To stop proving and start believing. In myself, in my path, in the quiet power of now. If you're still searching for peace, maybe it's not out there. Maybe it's waiting for you to come home to yourself. Maybe it's found not in doing more, but in letting go. Maybe peace isn't something you chase. Maybe it's something you remember. And once you do, you'll never want to go back, because once you've tasted true peace, nothing else will ever feel right again. So slow down. Breathe. Let go. You are enough. And peace is already yours, if you're ready to see it.